at Bears this Friday. There's that's another big tournament coming up. But speaking of big things, we got
Ganon's pretty
Diddy
big.
versus Ganon. Yeah, Ganon is quite a sizable lad. But yeah, very high profile match coming out from Rivers and SeaBass. Two Grand Titans fighting it out in semis.
Yeah, and this is top 8, ladies and gentlemen. So, SeaBass, winner side top 8, all Ganon as he's known to do.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Maybe this is a little bit of a Ganon check. It's like, do you know the matchup? Rivers certainly does, especially with the good old Diddy comp.
I mean, he also has that Rickles practice.
True.
I've seen them duke it out many a time, and those matchups are always hyped to see. But I think SeaBass is one of those players where, like, we saw him earlier. He got sauced last set we saw in the first stock. But once he finds his footing, he doesn't let it go.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough spot to constantly be like always scared that you're just gonna die off of one interaction just because Ganon can lose neutral and get a ledge trap for forever. But you know, you're scared for a reason if you're the opponent. Like, Ganon's got big buttons, some of them relatively quick. Things like forward tilt and jab and nair come out like super quick and are able to stuff out pretty good. And if you miss-space anything, then you explode. But it's really on SeaBass here to make those big plays happen, because if Rivers are allowed to have his way, then up smashers will be taking stocks at 130 and no ifs, ands, or buts.
Oh, definitely. Oh, gets the auto cancel. Very fortunate, because like that's the thing, is like that's the big saving grace of down B, is that it can auto cancel. So if you do happen to miss it, but still space it around the auto cancel, you can use your burst option without having to worry like, oh no, I just whiffed like a very laggy move. But as we're saying, SeaBass finally getting his wow, what a call out, but getting his footing, catching on to Rivers' big habit of like trying to fight his way out of the corner. Granted, Rivers, being the top player that he is very smart about mixing up. Even if he does do an aggressive option, it's a different option every time, or even a different timing or different spacing. But yeah, Diddy at the ledge. Scary character. Very good stuff to both players.
Diddy doesn't even have to be out the ledge.
Yeah.
He's across stage, but he gets over there so quickly. As long as Banana's there, you got to be afraid of the flipping in Diddy. And down to S smash, not something that I'm new to. Like, it's something that Rivers has definitely gone for plenty, but it looks true on Ganon, which is just another L you can put in the Ganon column, I guess. But that's the name of the game. It's a character that can swarm so effectively and with punish at such a wide degree. Diddy may not have many reliable disjoints, but his moves are quick. He can get places super fast, and he's got a hell of an item toss.
I mean, like, that's what makes him really good. It's like granted, he's designed around his item toss, but like there's these small things about characters that people like overlook. And like some things like item toss frame data. Sorry, I was looking away. But item toss frame data is one of those things that can actually make or break a character that people don't like quite look at. Like I think a couple other zoners are actually really hurt by their item toss frames, and can like some matchups actually become way worse because you can't abuse the same item that's the central core of the matchup as well as your opponent can.
Yeah, I like to mention it's the only bad frame data that Pikachu has is his item toss. He can't really make use of things like Peach turnips and other things. But Diddy, nah, he spawns that item, so he better have a good long toss.
Yeah.
He's got a pitcher's arm for sure, and Ganon's certainly feeling it. Though SeaBass, with these anti-airs and very reliable things with the sides of up air coming through, he's able to really punish Diddy for not only these short hop aerials, but then come in with the landings, fighting out of the corner most of the time. And hey, yet another up air puts him in such a great spot.
Yeah, mini flare blades coming out from ledge, getting Rivers back in the center. But that's the thing, is like a lot of players have to look out for. Like, okay, yeah, you got into a neutral position, but some people like, okay, now I'm at neutral, now I want advantage, and like you can't quite force that. It's like this is especially in a game like Smash Ultimate, where it's very very neutral line, very like back and forth and ebb and flow. That you need to really know when it's like you can't force your turn, or else you'll be paying the price. Like here, as he keeps trying to force himself off the ledge, but finally able to mix up well enough that SeaBass isn't quite in a position to punish it.
The huge turnaround, like it's got to be the SeaBass way at this point to go for things like up tilt at that spot. But hey, like what a solid reversal in order to get back to ledge, and you can trade for free with Diddy in so many of these spots. Just be careful about going off stage.
I kind of pogged a little bit.
I like the idea. Yeah, I respect it.
That was quite smart, but it still ends up barely dying. But still, he's jumping right now. Hard telegraphing that he wants this nair flip kick. I wonder if SeaBass is gonna come into this, but smart stuff DIing in, knowing that like, because it's one of those weird combos where like most of the time, oh yeah, you just DI out and you're fine. Not with nair down air. Actually, one of the few moves that you actually want to DI in at certain spots to avoid the follow-up. But River is able to use his wealth of knowledge and his phenomenal tools of his character to just slowly set play himself into a winning position.
Yeah, you don't need to put. It's a tale of two stories, kind of in a lot of ways. Like Diddy, set play monster does damage in increments. Ganon, one opening, all the damage comes in.
Yeah.
And so it may look like Rivers has a deficit, but he's almost always winning neutral 2 times to 1. It puts the ball in SeaBass's court to maximize every time he gets a hit. And as of right now, he hasn't gotten one until just then. It had been about 30 seconds.
Yeah. And we're looking at pretty much. It's weird because you're like, oh, 90-90, it might be like a last hit scenario, but like, some characters, it's a last hit scenario. As is seeing right there, phenomenal edge play coming out from Rivers. SeaBass, swinging and a miss, and this is your last at bat. Going to losers. Very phenomenal set we're looking at.
And Diddy, like the Yankees, throwing that no-hitter, just closing out with the Z-drop dare. Just started the game a little bit weak, but closed out strong. As I'm running out of baseball analogies, but but hey, like good stuff from Rivers. Like that game 2 start was really rough looking, especially with how much momentum SeaBass had on his side. I mean, we saw the things like up tilt come out. Like he was really looking and swinging for the fences. I had one more.
one more in the back pocket.